Well, good day, boys. You know, I used to be a Viking, sailed upon the sea. They caught me down in Wales and hung me from a tree. Welcome aboard, boys. Come on, let's go do some Viking and have a little bit of fun. Okay, boys, just so that you know what we're up to today, remember, we want to always be parallel to our eye. That's what we're doing. We're not drawing all the way back to our ear or short drawing. It's to a distance parallel to the eye. That's the magic spot. So that's one thing. Now, look at, when I put I'm right-handed. So if I'm looking at the target, you're the target, and I put my bow up, it's going to be to your right, my left, watch. I put my bow up. But see, we want the trough exactly on. But if I put my bow up, it's not on, it's over there. So what I do is I bring my right leg around past my front leg. And watch what happens when I do that. So it's there, it's right on. You see that? So look at the target, put your bow up, get the trough. That's the front sight. That has to be there before the arrow ever goes there. That's how you're lining it up. Okay? So we're going to bring our back leg around until the trough is on, even before we put the arrow up. Then all we have to do is get back to the magic spot, and it's going to go straight automatically. Okay? So that's one thing. The other thing that I've noticed is squinting is sometimes a big advantage. So what we're going to do today, and I want you to do this experiment, I want you to draw with both eyes open and then just squint one a little bit and see if that arrow doesn't straighten out. Because I've been noticing that a lot of times when I draw, it appears, I think it's right on, and I squint my eye and it's not on. And that's when I just adjust it a little bit, and then it's deadly accurate. So I think that a slight squint might be an advantage. So I want you to try it as an experiment. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, fine. But it works for me. Okay? So, you know, put it up, get the trough on, draw, and then a little squint just to make it straight. Anyhow, that's what we're going to do today, just so you know. Anyhow, back in a minute. Okay, guys, and there's another thing that I want to mention. So, you know when we put it up, and the bow is over on the angle a little bit, right? Well, not only can, and if our stance is slightly open, it's definitely going to be over there. Now, there's another way, so, you know, we can bring our back foot around, that straightens it out, but there's another way. If my stance is open, I can simply lean into it. So watch this. You see how it's like that? Now watch. See a little lean forward with my knee? And that will also bring it over. So we can adjust by bringing our back foot around, getting the trough, or we can simply lean until we get the trough. Either way, we've got to get that trough. We've got to get that trough. That's the front sight. That's where we want it to be, even before the arrow goes there. Okay? Anyhow, let's do some shooting. Okay, guys, so anyhow, we're going to stand here and take a few shots at our little piece of cardboard down here. This piece of cardboard thinks it's a man, but really it's a piece of cardboard. Keep that bow at 45 degrees. It's important. I was telling a guy the other day how to keep it at 45 degrees and you get the sight picture, and he goes, oh yeah, and this guy, other guy says the same thing except he holds it up this way. I've never heard anybody say put it in the trough. So I thought to myself, you know, what's the fucking point in telling some of these guys something? They don't fucking hear it. They don't grasp it, you know? Anyhow, that was just that one guy, but, you know, fuck me. Anyhow, lean it on, get it right on there, bring it back. Couldn't be better than that. If that cardboard could scream, it would, but not for long. just going to leave that for that. You know, there's 2 shots there. So anyhow, listen, 45 degrees. That's the window. Put it right there. When you draw, it will go there. Draw to the magic spot. Relax your arms completely. Squint a little bit if it's a bit blurry, and you'll do okay. And when you do that, you'll start getting hits like that. That's why I left it at 2. It's just too sweet, isn't it? But anyhow, listen to what I'm saying. Practice, and you can get those targets happening just like that. Okay guys, I've made up a couple of drawings here that I want to show you that I think will help you a lot, because just telling you stuff and showing you stuff when I'm doing it, you still don't quite see what I'm talking about necessarily. So you see this here? This is your bow and your arrow, and that's the trough. See the square here? Well, that's the window. That's where you're putting your target. Okay, so here's your trough, and here's your window to shoot through. Now, I want you to put your bow up at 45 degrees with your hand on it, and I want you to see the trough. Okay? That's where the target's going to go. Doesn't have anything to do with the arrow. That's where the target is going to go, right in that little trough that your hand makes with the bow. Okay? Now, when you put your arrow up, the arrow is going to be off to the side. But this little circle here is the cross section of the arrow. And you're going to put the little cross section of the arrow right where it sits on the bow, right under the target. That dot up there is the target, and here's a couple of lines coming down right to the center of the arrow that sits in the trough. Okay? And the final step is, as you draw back, your hand is still there, the bow is still there, and as you draw back, instead of the arrow being on an angle, it will, as you come into the magic spot, the arrow will straighten out and be directly pointing at the target. So those are the steps. Conceive the window in the trough, put the target right in the trough, line the part of the arrow that's going to be against the bow up with the target, not the tip, but the part that's going to be touching the bow, and then when you draw back, it's going to go straight. And when you do that, you relax your arm, and you let go, you should be able to hit that target pretty good. But anyhow, there's some diagrams that may help you out. Okay? Okay, so let's do some shooting. Okay, guys. The sun's going down. Goes down at 5:30 today. Let your arms float. Pressure goes, pushes, and it's from your hand to your elbow. It's not on your face. Just relax your hand. Let your arm fall in place. Some people find this idea about relaxing very difficult, you know, like, how do I hold a 50-pound bow and relax at the same time? Well, learn how to do some breathing exercises and relaxation exercises, just like in yoga. That's how you do it. Some people are very difficult to teach. They just don't comprehend what you're saying. And that's a big problem, you know. Really it is. I've told guys stuff and they'll just talk right past you. So sometimes it's hardly any, hardly worth even talking to people. Sometimes I just go, oh, okay, fine. Agree with the guy. Why not? He knows everything. But when you don't know everything and you listen to some of the things that I'm saying and practice them, well, you'll get your hits, right? That's what it's all about. Okay, talk to you later.